Tobias and I will walk through interoperability and the challenge of being you in the metaverse. And what we see today is basically some context and then a live end-to-end demonstration of the prototype that we've built. And the first frontier in being you is bringing your avatar everywhere. On the left-hand side, you can see 3 examples from different avatar providers that we have integrated today. These examples are from Ready Player Me, crypto, avatars, and Meebits. And this extends naturally into other areas like wearables, clothing that you can wear with your avatar, and then, different other use cases that we want to make interoperable for different metaverses. Now, the main challenge with bringing your avatar today is that there is no integrations from all the diverse avatar providers that we have on the one hand, here on the left-hand side, towards all the metaverses that exist. And the other challenge in that area is that it's not only integration, it's also different standards for the avatars and all the things that come with it, like emotes, animations, and so on. And this is why we introduced Hammerspace, an end-to-end solution to bring these 2 worlds together, basically to have the diversity of the avatar providers on the one hand and bridge this towards the metaverses and help achieve this with a lower effort so that not every metaverse has to implement one-to-one with every avatar provider in this case, but can go through this set of standards and this technology to have one-time development effort and then bring the avatars to the metaverses. And as we add more avatar providers, the metaverses get the benefit that they work interoperability, that they have interoperability from the get-go. Now, to make this interoperable and user-centric, we focus on 3 main principles when designing this solution. The first one is user centricity, where basically the idea is that the user owns and controls the data. And this is where IPFS is a fantastic technology to basically make this principle happen. The second principle is privacy. So we want that all the metadata and the data itself lives in a private environment. So basically corporations cannot track where you go and what you do. And the last principle is freedom, so at least all the terms that apply should be transparent to end users, but also there should be a possibility for the user to decide what to share and what not. Now, Tobias will basically walk you through the end-to-end demo and what steps are involved in this.
Yes, so we are going to do a demonstration of Hammerspace today, and it basically consists of like a few steps that we will walk you through. So the first one being you basically logging into your personal Hammerspace. So that means that you basically have a MetaMask login, you can click on it, you sign a message, and you get basically into your Hammerspace. And when we say you get into your Hammerspace, we mean that you basically can get into like a nice interface where you can add your personal items to it. And we're going to do that then in the second step, where we add your personal avatar to it. So there might be different avatar providers that you like. You can choose one of them. You can add the avatar to your Hammerspace and then basically take that forward. Basically, in the third step, you're going to choose a metaverse. We have an example metaverse, which is basically a meditation metaverse. So you could get in there with your friends and enjoy like a shared meditation together. And when you're actually entering that, you would like to choose the avatar that basically then looks like you in that dressing room that we have lined up then. And then the last step basically being you in the metaverse as your avatar. So if we now go to the next slide where we have the demonstration that I just explained, like the different steps to use. So what we're going to do now is basically having this Hammerspace administration interface, and we're going to log into it. So basically signing a message with MetaMask, so that is connected here, and then we get into the Hammerspace, which basically demonstrate your personal space where you have all the stuff that belongs to you. So here in this one, we have like a few different avatars in there. So some of them are from Meebits, for example, some of them are from Ready Player Me, or crypto avatars. So you can see like different shapes, forms, and sizes of it. And if we now would like to add a new avatar to it, so we can basically click on Add Item on the top left corner. And then there will be like a small pop-up window coming up. So in that pop-up window, as I said, we have like a few of them, a few of the technology providers integrated. So one of them being Ready Player Me, where you can basically design your own avatar and make it look like you, for example. Then we have Crypto Avatars, which is more NFT-based project, where you can get like different avatars that you can basically buy and then take into the Hammerspace. And then we have Meebits, which has kind of like a similar approach, also using NFTs, but they are more like a 3D voxel kind of character. The last thing that you can choose is a custom item, so you could also add like IPFS CIDs to it. Here now, for this example, we choose crypto avatars. So basically, it takes the Ethereum address that you just used to log into Hammerspace and then basically shows all the avatars that belong to that address. We can choose now one of them that I have in my wallet here. So one of them is, for example, the Anchorman. So we can choose that, and that gets basically uploaded to your personal Hammerspace. So we can see a small preview of it, and it loads a little bit, and then it lines up like on the bottom of your Hammerspace. So we have added that to your personal space. And now we can basically take that into a metaverse. So we kind of like packed it now, everything is in there, and now we kind of switch over to a metaverse. What we have here is the Meta Meditation app, which is a meditation metaverse, as I explained earlier. So you basically have one experience there, which is called Breather, and you can basically go in with your friends and enjoy meditation together. So we are doing that now by basically clicking on it. And then you basically get asked if you would like to give access to your Hammerspace to that application, Meta Meditation. So we're going to approve that now, but that is what Benedikt explained earlier with like user centricity. So we always want you to be the one deciding if you would like to share your items. So we're going to approve that now, and then we get into what we call a dressing room. So basically a 3D space where you can choose one of the avatars that are in your Hammerspace. As explained earlier, so one of them is the Anchorman that we just added to it from Crypto Avatars, but we also have one from Meebits. The one with the blue shirt, for example, from Ready Player Me, that looks a bit more human. And then we have others in there as well that might not look that human to us. So we can select that now by basically clicking on it, or you could use like your Oculus, for example, and then basically take the controllers with you to select one of them. And then you go into a portal to actually move into the metaverse experience. So we're doing that now, and we are now in the meditation metaverse, where there's like a big button in the middle, which you can click to actually start the meditation. And then it basically lights up green, so it basically indicates that the meditation would start now. We don't have sound at the moment, but you would hear them like a guided meditation. And there are also others in there. So for example, if I open up now a second browser window, I could add a second person to it that, for example, has this avatar. And if I show now the second browser window, I can basically see the avatar that I selected before in the dressing room. So that's basically you entering the metaverse with one of your avatars. And what we enable with that is basically interoperability for all the avatars that you have from different avatar providers. This demo was built on A-Frame and 3JS, so it's basically a JavaScript demonstration, but we also have more high fidelity SDKs, for example, for Unity, and there might be others coming as well in the future, for example, with Unreal Engine. So this is one example of a dressing room implemented in Unity, where you can see a Meebits avatar and also applying animations to it. So looks also very nice. So that was the demonstration, and we are now moving to the next slide, where we talk a bit about the technology that lies underneath Hammerspace. So it's of course built decentralized, and we are leveraging like a nice decentralized foundation for it. So one of the parts is IPFS, which we use to actually distribute and store the files that we are, or like the avatars that we are having in Hammerspace. So like, due to the peer-to-peer fashion of IPFS, we can like really fast distribute like the content to the different metaverses. And then on the other hand, we have Filecoin, where we basically ensure that all the stuff that is in your Hammerspace gets backed up, and is basically durable and resilient. So that are kind of like the core technologies that we are using, and then building on top of that for various 3D engines and different SDKs that we have. If we now go to the next slide, so the question now is, how will Hammerspace evolve? So now we started with basically having avatars in there, but we are obviously not going to stop there. So some of the things that we are going to do in the future are very close to avatars. So for example, if we talk about emotes and wearables, so emotes being animations and also having sound in there, for example. So like, for example, if you look into Fortnite, you have like all these dances in there, or maybe like a person waving his hand. And you could basically enable that with emotes then also in Hammerspace, so that you, when you add your avatar to any kind of metaverse, you could basically also take emotes and expressions that you like with you. On the other hand, we also have wearables then. So for example, like a watch or like a chain or something that you like, you could basically take that with you as well. Then we think a lot about NFTs because, for example, like crypto avatars also uses NFT today to actually mint the avatars onto a blockchain and basically prove ownership of it. And whenever you take something into your Hammerspace, we are going to check that basically and take it from the blockchain. And we could also do checks for the metaverses to prove that ownership as well. So NFTs is one big part that is going to come. We have additional use cases. I mean, the list is very long, but those are the ones that we will probably focus next on. But we could definitely span that to more use cases that are always like focused on, let's say, user-centric storage. So everything that belongs to you and digital assets that you would like to keep with you and take with you into different metaverses, that's when Hammerspace basically comes in. Now going to the last slide, so you can reach out to us, either send us an email or follow us on Twitter. You can also check out our GitHub, for example, to see what we have built. If you are a metaverse experience or like a technology provider, does not have to be limited to avatars, but any kind of technology provider that would like to integrate with us or get onto our platform, we can definitely talk and make that happen. So please reach out to us, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you.